Are we ready?
Almost.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Ready, set, go. Clear out the throat.
I'm gonna have that song fucking stuck in my head for like ever.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome back, humans.
People of YouTube, hello, greetings. We're back again.
Bringing it to you on this Saturday. The Mentivent dynamic duo is back once again, reunited, and it feels damn good.
We're united, and here we are. We're fighting it. We're fighting the virus.
That's right. Doing it.
Okay, so
Yes, we are.
how's everybody been doing? We've been doing good?
Man, I've been doing really good, man. Been having a lot of fun, just trying to stay in shape, stay busy, and not get caught up in all this, circus of the election and stuff like that.
The election media circus.
I take it in little doses. I'll get a little dose, then I'll go to rehab, and then I'll relapse, and then I'll, right now I'm in the rehab phase.
I do the same thing. I have to go through the same cycle because like I'll get sucked into it like it's a vortex or like a black hole. I'll just get glued to it. It's the best TV show out there.
You know what it reminds me of? A hickey.
Okay.
You didn't know what happened. You got sucked up,
Yeah.
and now it's there for a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like that. So, you guys haven't seen me for a hot minute. I had to take last weekend off. Me and the wife, we went out. She bought herself a brand new car. First new car ever for her.
Nice. That's good, man.
And so we did that. And, and I'm back again.
It's always good to get a little new whip.
Oh, yeah. Got that new whip. It's nice. It's got all the bells and whistles in it, too. It's nice.
Yeah, all that like new tech and stuff.
Yeah. That lane assistance, that is really trippy because you kind of like just lightly grab that steering wheel and this car will drift.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel it'll just turn you back.
I really like that. I'm glad you brought that up because I felt that in like the Teslas and other
Yeah.
things like that. So it actually shows you how shitty of a driver you actually are. Because you're like, you think you're a good driver, but this motherfucker keeps interrupting you.
Exactly.
I want to sway this way. I meant that.
If you don't use your turn signal, so it encourages all y'all motherfuckers who don't like to use turn signals,
Yeah.
It encourages you to use your turn signal because if you try to just change lanes without turning your turn signal on, it'll fight you and try to bring you back in the lane. But if you click that turn signal, it'll deactivate the system and then allow you to coast over into the next
that's some
lane.
robot shit. You guys are gonna argue one day.
Yeah, for real.
Like
So-
I want to go through the yellow, and the car's gonna be like, "Fuck you, we stopping," and then you guys are gonna get in this big car human fight, and that's gonna start the robot war.
It's pretty damn cool, though. I'm telling you, it's pretty cool.
It's gonna shoot oil out the glove box.
But yeah, I was digging it, and she's happy. She got a new whip. Got rid of the old jalopy. It went to the big jalopy place in the sky. I don't know where the old beaters go, but they go somewhere. We all know where they go. I'm just being facetious.
It's all getting scrapped up.
Yep. Well, actually, we didn't scrap it. We sold it to somebody who may need it.
Heck yeah.
So
Recycle it.
exactly. Somebody might need it out there.
Always looking for somebody's always looking for a car like that sometimes just to get a quick one.
Yeah, sometimes, there's always somebody in need out there who needs a real cheap car.
Hell yeah.
Just trying to get by. There's always kinds of people out there. You got to help them out. Got to do what you can. But yeah, other than that, but just been getting caught up in this debate stuff, rejoicing over the great news that our governor got her little pee-pee slapped by our Supreme Court, our state Supreme Court. She got slapped down.
They were like, look, you ain't at that level, lady. You need to hit the brakes.
She got swatted like how we're swatting bees at this time of year.
She got blocked like the Kembe Mutombo and then got the finger wave.
Exactly.
Back in the early 90s basketball. He was like, you're not making it on me. And fucking swatted her ass.
She
Supreme
got
Court.
slapped down like Jet Li when he did that one kick. You remember when he kicked that dude with his leg, kicked him down, and just kicked him right to the ground? She got slapped down like that.
You know what it reminds me of? Is when you got that one tough kid who thinks that tough kid because the real tough kid isn't there right now.
Yeah.
And then he's talking shit like, I'm going to buck all y'all up. And if he was here right now too, I'll tell his ass he ain't shit. And he ain't fucking nothing because he knows that's why he ain't here. That's why he didn't show up. Because he ain't shit. He's just a big old pussy ass motherfucker. Y'all ain't doing shit. I'll beat y'all up. Give me all your lunch money. And while he's saying that, the real fucking boss isn't backing around. And
Oh,
you see
yeah.
you see everybody backing down, and they think
And he's like, what? He's behind me?
they think it's
Is he
them.
behind me right now?
They think it's them at first until they realize,
Is he behind? And then they do that look. They do
Yeah.
that look behind them.
That's
and
what happened.
And then they get that brown spot on their pants.
That's what she had. She was like, she turned around to see what really went
It
down.
was like, oh. And, it's a good thing. And all y'all out there who's hating, saying, oh, we're being little sissies, just wear a mask. It's not what it's about. Okay? She broke the rules. She didn't do the things she was supposed to do. And when you do that, you get slapped. Okay? That's just what happens. She broke the rules. She used the wrong law. And she didn't, if she'd have used the right law, then this wouldn't have happened.
People need to work.
You got to do things the proper way. There are procedures that need to be followed.
And you don't got to be a bully.
That's right.
This ain't a dictatorship.
And you can tell she already was like, oh, that's all right. That's all right. They took down my orders. That's all right. We got 21 days yet, and I'm going to find a different way
Yeah.
to keep my orders up. Well, that sounds like some dictatorship. That sounds like the words of maybe Adolf Hitler.
She fucking
Possibly.
turned the term dictatorship to a bitch-tatorship.
Yeah, sounds
She
like
came out there with some bag of bitch-tater chips.
you sound like Emperor Palpatine, maybe. I don't know. Could be. But yeah, she does look evil though.
She does.
Like,
She's
a
got
lot
that mean look. Like
Yeah.
you got that face where you can smile, but you see like that person is mean.
Like there are times when I've seen her like dressed up, and she's kind of hot. She can look good. There'll be times I'm like, damn, she's kind of hot. But then there's other times where like they'll just catch that right camera angle, and she looks very vindictive. And
Well,
I
she's
love
got that big
word.
forehead, like she'll fight you in the bar.
She got that big forehead.
She gets all that Botox and she looks all like wrinkle free and real pretty. But you see, when the lockdown first happened, she didn't get her Botox. You saw what her face really looked like. It was all like, the real
Yeah.
deal.
She got them high cheekbones, them eyebrows. She can look very menacing at times, and you just look at her and you're just like, damn. Okay.
She had to read the rule book the right way.
Yeah, exactly. So the state Supreme Court, which I didn't know, I thought there was just one Supreme Court. I didn't realize that there was like individual Supreme Courts for each state.
And I didn't know
Did
there
you
was
know that either?
I didn't know the states all had their own different constitutions
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So that was something new. I didn't realize that they all had their own.
because they said she violated the Mexican
The Mexican.
the Mexican Constitution.
You
She
violated.
fucked it up over there too.
You fucked up Mexican's
But it was the
Constitution.
Michigan Constitution.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it was definitely an educational experience. I haven't looked into those laws. I want to actually take the time and check out these laws. The one that she used and the one she should have used. I'm just curious as to what the differences are. And I do know that the one that she was supposed to use, what it was supposed to happen was after 28 days of her power being enacted, then there was going
we
to
would
be
turn into zombies
yes.
like 28 days later.
Exactly. Everybody would turn to zombies. And then there would be a review. All the zombies would review and say, we don't like what's happening, so we're going to take your power away. And then the zombies go away.
So, speaking of the when you're on that 28 days later,
Yeah.
it's getting close to Halloween and
Oh,
stuff.
man.
I've been watching.
Hush is open.
I started watching a lot of scary movies,
Of course.
and I love it. They're all coming on. Some of them are doing marathons. Some people are still playing like the same movie like every 2 days, and I still end up watching it, catching it in the middle, and still watching them. But
Yeah.
they're starting to do like all the Halloweens right now.
Absolutely. Michael Myers coming at you.
Yeah, it was on. There's a lot of good ones. What else did I see recently? Oh, it was on last night. But
Yeah.
so there was this new one I watched. I spoke
The
out
original It or the new one?
of it, the new remake,
Oh,
which
okay.
is pretty damn fucking
Yeah,
creepy.
it is really good.
I liked the sequel, but the sequel was too fucking long. But the first remake was really fucking creepy.
I agree
It
with
should have
you.
been done in 3D.
There was no reason for that sequel movie to be 3 hours long.
No way.
They could have shot. Now, I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. The story was well done. But they could have flushed out a lot of that. They really stretched it out. Or maybe made another movie.
Yeah, something or two flicks. Yeah, like a Harry Potter
Yeah.
part 1-2 type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one. It almost reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Or not Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
Yeah.
You didn't need to turn a 400-page book into a 9-hour movie. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, so I seen this one I spoke on a previous episode before. It was called Our House.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I liked it because I thought they took a real spin on like technology
Yeah.
and family hardships. Sometimes kids grow up without parents and type shit. And man, that was a genius way they did it. Like he was making this new type of technology that he thought was, going to do free energy for people, but yet it was bringing like electromagnetic pulsing to where they say ghosts feed off that shit. So it was
Right.
bringing like ghosts to the real world.
Yeah,
Where they could almost
it was
like physically make a body like the fucking like Vision from the Avengers.
Yeah, it was like supercharged and the supernatural with that energy.
That was a creepy fucking movie.
I liked it. It was a really good movie. Yeah, I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but I love it when they bring back the old horror flicks. I love this time of year. Some of the haunted houses are open. I know Hush is open right now. I want to get in there.
Nice.
Take my lady and her sister and whoever else wants to get the pants scared off them.
Do you have like a top 5 like 1980s horror movie list?
I wouldn't. Well, okay. So I don't. Pumpkinhead. I like Pumpkinhead.
Ooh, nice.
That is a good one. I would say anything from the Freddy Krueger line.
Okay, you got to pick one of them.
We'll just go. I mean, shoot. We'll go with the first one then, because I like them all. They're all really well. Because the idea that you're gonna be asleep and this guy's gonna kill you in your sleep—that's just terrifying. That is just the most terrifying thing you could possibly imagine. Okay, so the Jason one, which is the one where they're on the boat and he kills a chick on the boat?
I think that's 1 or 2.
Okay, that's
where he has like the potato sack before the hockey mask.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's 1 or 2.
Okay, I like that one because I don't remember which one it is either. When I think
because it happens at the end and it also happens at the beginning of the other one. That's why I don't remember like if it was like part 1 or part 2.
Because it's the same one where he kills them with the bow and arrow.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's part 2 then for sure. Because
okay, that's
that was genius about that series. They used like that soap opera cliffhanger type of ending. And then they used it when the sequel started. Even at the theaters, they were doing that. I thought that was pretty genius. So he ends in the end of the boat. She thinks she's all clear and she's crying.
Right.
Then he jumps out as the kid version of Jason, and he's got the sack on his head, or he's all deformed, and he pulls her in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
And the movie after that, the newer one, starts right there of her getting pulled into the water, comes back out, and then I just thought it was cool the way they did that back then. For the 80s, I thought that was like a little ahead of its time.
Now, I got to think of some other 80s movies because...
yeah, you're at 3. You got 2 more.
Okay. See, you know what? Okay. You know what? I'm going to tell you, the first time I saw Aliens, that movie was...
Sigourney Weaver, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
That was pretty damn scary. They did a really good job creating suspense in that movie, and it definitely kept you on the edge of your seat.
Hell yeah.
It was a really well done movie. And then the first time I saw Critters...
Oh, Critters rocked.
I was just a little kid. You gotta figure it's the 80s. I was just
now
a
that
little
was
kid.
considered horror, but it was like a fun horror.
Well, the second one is the comedy, isn't it?
They were all kind of like they were kind of like still comedic in a way.
But isn't that where the guys come from outer space?
Yeah, and then the guy had like looked like a rock band singer.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
yeah.
The second one's
he looked like Joe Piscopo on steroids. And
did you see the remake?
No,
they did a remake of maybe it was last year or the year before. They did a remake. It wasn't bad.
Nice.
It wasn't bad. You have to check that out. I think it was Critters.
I know they did like 2-3 movies from Critters because I watched them all.
Yeah, but Critters definitely up in my top 5 because that as a little kid that scared the crap out of me. I started looking at dust bunnies and stuff, going, "Oh, what is that? Get it away from me!"
Nice. I'm about to get you down. That was a good top 5.
All right, give me your top 5.
So there was this really creepy movie.
Okay.
And I think it was called The Gate.
The Gate.
And it was like these young kids. They're hanging out with their sister, and actually, man, what's that kid's name? He's a famous actor. He is in so many fucking movies, man. What is this dude's name?
What name of movie he's been in?
That one where Deuces, where they were like that street gang in the 50s. What's that guy's name?
Is it? Oh,
he's in Blade too. I think he's like a villain in Blade in one of the Blade movies.
For some reason, you know what came to mind? Lou Diamond Phillips, and I know that's not right.
It wasn't Vampire La Bamba. There was no vampires in La Bamba.
I know that's not right. Shit, I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyways, he's a little kid in this movie.
Okay.
Like a little ass kid, like 10, 12 years old.
Okay.
Anyways, he's like getting his sister's babysitting or something. And he's got a friend staying over.
Yeah.
Parents are gone. And they look like they're in a real rich neighborhood. So these kids got privileges. They got these cool toys. Like, let's pull out the toy rockets.
Ooh.
So they got those rockets you shoot up, them kits. They go out there and they're playing with their stuff. And a fucking sinkhole forms in the backyard. out the
Okay.
blue.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
So they start playing with the fucking thing, and next thing you know, this big-ass fucking sinkhole
Wait,
gets
they're
bigger.
playing in the sinkhole?
Like, they're playing around it. You know,
Okay.
the sinkhole starts getting bigger, and I think a rock they take out of there or something, they take out of there. So, anyways, these little fucking demons start coming out. It's like a scary fucking demon movie.
Jesus.
And these little gray demons. And, man, this shit was creepy as fuck. And,
I never
anyways,
saw that movie.
yeah, so it ends up being like a gateway to hell, and that's why they called it the gate. So these little gray demons were going to do all this stuff and make the big devil come out.
Okay.
And so oh man, I just remember this one part, and they even showed it in the movie trailer when I was a kid. That made me go see it at the theaters.
Uh-huh.
It made this big gray like demon,
Yeah.
and then he falls down in the ground and turns into a bunch of them. They like all running around the house, and it was like a creepy movie back then. Like I said, and it was called The Gate. So that's one of them.
You know, and I just, now that you're talking about, I was thinking about some other movies, but go ahead. That's one, The Gate. Go ahead. Because, you know, I forgot about some movies. And you just tickled my brain, and I forgot. Right. But go ahead.
So, Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Okay.
I have to have that on there. Part 1 was fucking crazy.
It's a good movie.
You know what was a real creepy
what's her
scene?
name? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nope, she was Halloween.
Oh, you're right. Damn. How did I screw that up?
So, anyways, what really creeped me out in that one scene in the beginning of or not the beginning, but it was close to one of her first nightmares, is when his arms stretch across the alley. And he's like scraping the both sides of the alley.
Oh.
And he had like 2 gloves on in that scene.
Oh, man.
It was like rarely you would see him in those early films. He would have like 2 gloves on.
Yeah.
And in that scene, he has like both sides of the alley. And he's like, that part creeped me the fuck out.
Okay.
And that was before CGI, so it looked like he had some kind of shit. You know, it just looked creepy. You know
they
what I
did,
mean?
you know, it's the 80s. They didn't have a whole lot of tech back then, and they did some wicked stuff. But go ahead. What's your number 3?
So I would have to say my number 3 would have to be. Let's see. I actually watched it. Fright Night. The original Fright Night. Yeah, because we just watched it. I had it. My lady was like, "Oh, I don't really remember." And I'm like, "Let's watch it." You know, so that was a great one too.
What was Fright Night?
Fright Night was this neighbor moves in and he ends up being a vampire, and the kid sees him. It's almost like a Disturbia type of movie. Like he starts spying on the neighbor and seeing him killing people, and nobody believes him.
Oh, you know what? I do remember that movie now.
Yeah, and he has to save him, and there's a a famous vampire hunter on TV who comes and helps him and shit. Like it was a great one. That was a good one. It was creepy. Probably the best vampires I've seen in a movie, like from the beginning days.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Vamp, and it was more like sexual and crap, but that was a really good vampire movie just because the vampires looked really creepy. They made them so creepy looking, like they put some kind of prosthetic on their face where they like monsterified the cheeks and shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they were like good vampires, but the movie wasn't that good.
They did that a lot in the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Similar, I would say, but I would say hands down, Vamp's vampires were pretty damn creepy. Y'all making new movies to take notes from that one.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I got that one.
Okay. So what else you got?
Let's see. There was one called The First Power, and Lou Diamond Phillips actually was in this film.
Really?
Now that you bring him up. So he ends up saving the day in this movie. But
okay.
Back in the day, I used to say my sister's husband. Sorry, Chris. No, I'm just kidding. But I used to say my sister's husband would look like the guy that was the killer in the movie.
Okay.
So there was this crazy guy. He was a serial killer.
Yeah.
And he fucking finally gets caught by the police, but before he does some kind of weird ceremony, like he was some Satan worshiper. Like he had another detective in this little pentagram under the sewers and shit. Like, so they end up catching him, putting him in jail, giving him the death penalty.
Wow.
So he gets electrocuted. I think it's the chair. I don't think it was a lethal injection.
All right.
But Lou Diamond Phillips has to beat a cop.
Ooh.
Got the long hair, and he's like,
yeah,
La Bamba, I'm gonna La Bamba your ass, devil. So he goes after his ass, and hits him with the La Bamba and the old Donnas. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, they killed the guy in jail. He dies with the what's it called? The death penalty.
The death penalty, yeah. He gets
supposedly
the chair. They give him the chair.
Yeah, so he starts, and he has this creepy little saying. He would say, like, when the cop was coming after him, he would say, "Piggy, piggy." It was like super creepy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the guy was creepy. Anyways, he ends up like copycat killer starts happening. Like the way this guy would kill people started happening, and Lou Diamond Phillips was like, something's going on. So they figured out it was his spirit.
Okay.
He did some kind of spell before he got killed, and he was still killing people and shit, man. He was possessing people, and it's a real creepy movie. It was a real good one that I thought was super creepy. I even added it to my DVD collection because it was like super creepy.
That's awesome. You got one more. You got to do one more.
And my top movie right now, I bring the movie up a lot when we talk about aliens.
Yeah.
But I just thought this was a creepy movie with the real realistic approach. That's what gave me the creepiness about it, because it had a real realistic approach to it.
Uh-huh.
It was Dark Skies.
Dark Skies is a good movie. Now, saying all that, what made me think, we didn't talk at all about Hellraiser.
Oh yeah, Hellraisers were great.
We didn't talk about Puppet Master movies. Those movies were
Puppet
creepy.
Masters were actually creepy. I didn't, Hellraiser wasn't creepy. They were more gory. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I mean,
you're
for
right.
some people, maybe that would create the fear, but they were more like a gore.
You're right. You're right about that because they had some real disgusting
And
stuff.
I loved them, but to me, they weren't like the ones that scared me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I thought about it. The Puppet Master movies, being a child, those were terrifying.
Oh man, they were
movies.
great.
Yeah, those. And
Do you
then
remember the Phantasms?
what about the slasher movie? What is it? Where they kills the lady in the shower.
Psycho?
Psycho.
Psycho was
but
pretty
that's
good.
not 80s, is it?
That was a little before that.
Yeah, that's.
But what about the Phantasms? Where the guy
What,
was
like
like this.
Poltergeist?
No, it was called Phantasm. It was like a series of movies, and this guy had this like ball that would like drill your brain out. You don't remember that one? That was like in the 80s.
No.
So it was like this guy. He looked like an Einstein / Mozart mix of a human,
Okay.
and he was like this villain doctor. I don't know if he was I don't remember if he was like a demon or possessed kind of guy, but he would make these machines, and they would like, he would have this ball, and he would fucking like drill your head out. Like he would shoot through the house, and it was like this ball that would go through, and it was called the Phantasms.
Now, I don't remember that at all. But now I'll talk about two movies that I do remember that people thought were scary. And I'm not sure if they were from the 80s or not. The Langoliers, not scary. Stephen King, good movie, but not scary.
You know which one we didn't talk about that is
And
creepy?
What's that other one where the aliens are in the woods? That other Stephen King movie? Where
Signs. No, that's the
no, not Signs. It's the Tommy Knockers.
Dreamcatcher.
Tommy Knockers.
Oh, never seen that one. Dreamcatchers I liked.
Dreamcatchers was good, but yeah, the Tommy Knockers, that was kind of creepy, but it wasn't really that scary.
Nice.
But anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say about a movie? You were going to say something about a movie.
I might have forgot already.
Nah, that's all right. That happens. But yeah, definitely. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, since...
Oh, yeah, I do remember now.
Go ahead.
It was a creepy one we didn't talk about.
Okay.
Children of the Corn.
Ooh.
Malachi.
That you know what? That was a good-ass movie.
That was like a weird, dark film.
You know what was cool about the older movies? They didn't have a lot of the tech, so they had to find ways to create suspense.
Yeah.
And that definitely is what gave the movie a lot. Like, they would do it with music.
The darkness, too. Like, they would make it look like it was always cloudy, like, when they were shooting
Yep.
film. Like, it would just always have this weird haze outside.
Yeah. Like, I watched, what was that movie where they did, it was with John Malkovich, and they showed how they made the movie Dracula.
Oh, man, I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though. I couldn't think of that.
I can't think of the name of the movie. It wasn't an 80s movie, but the movie itself is really good, and it has a lot of creep factor. Nosferatu.
Okay.
Wasn't that the name of the movie?
I remember that movie, but I don't know. I don't remember the remake, the film you're talking about.
So it was, what it is the movie is the making of the movie Nosferatu. And they hire the real vampire to play in the movie.
Okay.
And throughout the movie, they discover that he's a vampire, and they kill him in the movie. And it's a really good, it's just a really good movie to watch.
Heck yeah.
Definitely, and it's creepy too, and it's almost filmed in the way the original Nosferatu was filmed.
I like when they do that. You know, when they, like I said, that new movie I seen on Netflix called The Devil All the Time. The way they did time period was cool.
And some of these newer movies are terrible, like Drag Me to Hell. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
The Grudge. Come on. Now I tell you what. You know who has the best creepy movies? The Japanese.
What's a new scary one that you like that's newer? Like which one of the newer ones?
Oh, okay. You already said the name of it. Signs.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one.
That movie was so awesome because all it did was create suspense.
Yeah.
Because you had no idea what was going on. You had no clue. And it was just, it allowed your mind to just run wild.
Those flashbacks that Mel Gibson was having and all that stuff, man, that was like, that added so much to the movie.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. Like, and then, that was good. That was good.
All
I
right.
could go on for that film.
Oh, man, we could talk about that movie for an hour. Okay, now, I don't remember the name of this one, but I remember John Goodman's in it, and it's based off that movie. Okay, do you remember where the giant alien is crushing the town?
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. Okay, this movie is based...
Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
That's the
thank
sequel.
you. That movie, Cloverfield Lane, that movie was the fucking shit.
Yes, it was.
That movie was creepy because you had no idea what was going on in that movie until the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Whew, that movie.
That was a good one.
That movie was a wild ride. I love movies like that. You don't have to have all this flash and all this gore to create suspense. I mean, even Shutter Island was a suspenseful movie. It had me on the edge of my seat, and that's not really a horror movie, but it had me just guessing, and it had me chewing my nails off.
For sure.
But yeah, Signs, and then okay, what's the movie with the aliens where they come? They think they're poltergeists. They think they're kids.
That's the Dark Skies. That was on my top 5 list.
No. I thought this is later. This isn't an 80s movie. This was like a 90s movie.
Okay. I remember Dark Skies was like 2000s.
Oh, okay. So then it is Dark Skies. Well, that can't be in your top 5 because you said 80s.
It had to be 80s, but I couldn't help it because that was just a phenomenal scary movie.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
I broke the rules.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a creepy one.
Yeah, dude. Because you think the kid's haunted. You think it's a haunting. And then it turns out to be aliens. And that's what really, you're like, what? Like, the first quarter of the movie, you're thinking ghosts.
Yep.
And then some shit takes place, and you're like, whoa, is this aliens or ghosts? You kind of step back. I saw that movie in the theaters.
Me too.
That movie was...
That was the film I told you when we were walking to our car. My wife was looking up. Like,
hell yeah.
we were like, whoa.
All right, so what was that 70s movie about that whole about that dude who got abducted? He was gone for like a month, and then he came back. I thought that was called Dark Skies.
I don't know. I'd have to look that one up.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
Where that dude supposedly got abducted, and then they were looking for him for weeks, and then he just showed up out of nowhere.
Yep.
And that was based on a real story. That was based on a true story. I forget the name of that movie. That was a really creepy ass movie. But yeah, that's been creepy movies, y'all. And I don't know. Tell us in the comments what's some movies that really
give us some of your maybe top 3 scary movies that you guys like.
top 3, top 5, whatever, and just some stuff that really blew your mind, especially as a child, like because those are the ones that really leave an impact on your whole life. When you're a young person, and you see that horror film, that really gets etched into your mind. You know,
they'll get etched into you. They create those fears that we talk about when you're at your house and you turn the light off and something just makes you want to run through your own home.
Absolutely. When I get that dander on the back of my neck, or I get that feeling down my spine when I'm walking up my basement stairs, I will literally, that fight or flight instinct just kicks in, and I run my fat ass up them stairs, and I'll turn on every light. Oh, man. And I'm looking down the stairs like, nope, nothing
I don't
there.
see nobody.
I don't see nothing. Wait, is that a shadow? Did I see a shadow?
I'm hoping nobody peeks around, even though I look. I'm hoping they ain't going
to. My wife is done. She's been like, are you okay? She'll think, because I'll run up the stairs so fast and so hard, my feet will be pounding on them stairs. She'll think I fell down or something.
She'll be
like,
watching.
Are you okay?
I'll be watching this show lately called Paranormal Caught on Tape.
Oh, that's a good one.
Every time I watch the show and I talk all this shit during the show, you ever notice when you're watching horror movies? I'm going off subject a little bit, but I don't care.
Okay, go ahead.
I noticed this on myself.
Yeah.
I'm making a self confession right here. I don't even know if this is for everybody, but I feel like I kind of feel like sometimes I'm watching movies with other people and they do the same thing.
All right.
So I think it's more on my side of the fence than not.
Yeah.
You ever notice when we're watching horror films, you become like the most best strategist?
Yes.
Like, this is what I would have done.
You become the smartest motherfucker ever, like you've ever been in this
For real.
situation. Well, if I was being chased through the woods by a guy with a chainsaw, I would pick up a rock and throw it at him.
Any suspense film, any action fight film, people are like, why didn't he just grab it? I would have grabbed that brick right there. See that brick?
First of all,
like you just don't know that brick's
he's 7'6" and got a chainsaw. You're terrified off your ass. You ain't doing shit, bitch.
His hand is bigger than your head.
Fuck yeah, you're gonna die.
So yeah, I just noticed that I become this like ultimate strategist person when I'm watching any sort of like scary type movie like that.
I do the same exact shit.
This is what I would have did.
I'd be like, well, why didn't they just pull their pocket knife and cut their way out of their? Because you remember in the one Jason when he ties the bitch up in the sleeping bag and hangs her over the fire.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't she just pull her pocket knife out and cut her way out of the sleeping bag before she burned to death? Because you got like 3 seconds before you're dead.
And why don't the people, well, like my horror movies would be like 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess you got to make the movie entertaining. Because like I would hear something weird and just think it was something like, oh, we're leaving.
Basically.
Roll the credits.
Basically.
Just roll the credits now.
Like, I'm going to tell you right now. So the stereotype for white people is this. Oh, what's that light in the sky? Let's go check it out. Hey, did you guys hear that noise? Let's go find out what it is. Hello? Is there anybody in here? I thought I heard somebody. Let's go see what that is.
Yeah. I
And
see a
then-
group of these weird shadows. Let's split up.
Let's check it out. See, I don't have that stereotypical Caucasian instinct to investigate. I have a more urban instinct, which is to get the fuck out of there.
Right. And so, like, my film, like I said, might be, maybe I could get 3 minutes out of it. It might be 5 minutes with the credits. So, like, we'd show up, I'd hear a weird noise, and it'd be me and my friends. Like, and you know when you do that thing that scares everybody once you get in there, either you
Yeah.
start running first or you do that shit that just scares everybody, and they just don't even know what happens. They don't ask. We
Yeah.
just go. So, like, we run to the car, we're driving off, and the last couple minutes of the movie is us thinking about what that noise could have been. Like, what if it was fucking a whole bunch of spirits? Or what if it was some crazy serial killers? And then the credits would just roll, like, by the time all our scenarios was done. That would be my horror film.
So,
Sorry that it would suck.
and I'll tell you, when my wife and I were on our second honeymoon, or whatever the hell you want, our anniversary vacation, we drove through a lot of areas. There were like some little wrong turn towns, and it was kind of scary as
Uh-huh.
shit. Looked like a lot of meth heads lived there and stuff like that. And I told my wife, I says, look, as we're driving through, just give a little curt little wave, like we live there, right? Don't really make eye contact. Acknowledge their existence.
Do the nod,
Give them give them the little, like we're locals, but don't act like you're an out-of-towner and just start flailing your arm, snapping pictures and shit, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get scooped up in the middle of the night and chopped up.
Yeah. You guys are going to get raped and burned.
Yeah, there was some wrong turn shit going on in these towns. It was really creepy. But
You seen a guy washing his armpits in a bucket.
listen, how did you know? Was you there with me?
Well, you told me.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Like, my man had a shirt. He took his shirt off, dipped it in the bucket, and was just washing himself as y'all drove by.
I watched a lady douche herself with a Diet Coke.
Man,
It was a rough town.
that's bananas.
That didn't really happen. I'm just kidding. But it was some shit. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I become the best strategist. I'll be like, why didn't they just get in that car over there? The car's running. Why did, yeah, it happens. You know what else I do when I'm watching horror movies? If I think there's a really scary part coming up, I'll find a reason to leave the room.
Oh, nice.
I'll be like, I got to go to the bathroom, or like I got to go get something to drink, or maybe I'll pretend like I got to adjust my blanket so like the blanket will go over my face for a second or something like that, so I can't see what's going on that's scary. I'm a little bitch like that.
I'll do something if I know the movie's creepy. Like, if I know the movie's creepy and it's going to get me, I'm going to fucking, like, maybe strike a random conversation during that part where it's all creepy.
I do that too.
It'll be real creepy, and I'll be like, oh, man, you know what just reminded me of something? And, like,
Yeah.
the murder scene creepy shit jump spot happened, and I'm like, oh, fuck, we should rewind it. And that
Yeah.
fucker will still make me jump.
Yeah.
It don't even matter. Still got me.
Yeah, I know exactly what. It's funny.
The other day we were watching The Strangers.
That's-
Strangers?
Hold on
Yeah.
before you say that. That's why it's better to see these horror movies in the movie theater when they're really good,
Uh-huh.
because you have no choice. You can't run from it. If you're at home, you can hide and run from it, whatever. But if you're in that theater, it's right there in your
Yeah.
face. But anyway, go ahead.
So we were watching The Strangers. I've seen the movie a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And there was this one time she sees the guy in the house, and the guy acts like he don't know, but he knows she's in this little closet, and he walks out. And so she's getting ready to creep out, and then the girl with the blonde mask pops up.
Oh yeah.
And that motherfucker, I knew it was coming, and it still got me. I was like, ugh. I was like, it's fucking bullshit. It got me again.
I'm gonna tell you right now, all those people who made like them Annabelle movies and that other the
Conjuring.
the
That was my shit.
Conjuring, and listen, y'all are making some good fucking horror movies because you get me every time.
Dude, when I was a
Scares
kid-
the piss out of me, and I watch them in theaters. I watch them in the movie.
Yes.
Oh man.
All them weird sounds of all that shit in the theaters. It's great.
You had my heart pumping. I yelled out loud at one of those, and it was funny because my wife started laughing at me in the movie theater. She's like, "Did your ass really?" Like I was like, "Ah!"
Man, those are no joke. Those are good scary ones, man. They do
But-
good jobs with that shit.
Yeah, they do. I like it though, because that's why I like going to the haunted houses. Now, the haunted house isn't as scary as watching a horror movie, I don't think. I know you can't hurt me. I know that you're a human in costume. You know what I mean? And really, all you're really doing is messing with my senses. Like
Yeah.
most of the time, I can't see shit. Because
Those are
of
my
the-
favorite when they have the little, like, you think you're going through spider webs and
Yeah.
the floor will be mushy.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff's fun.
But when they do get me and I scream, I love that shit. And I'll even tell the guys, like, if you get me and I scream or you know, or whatever, I'll be like, all right, man, you got me. Thanks. You know, because I want that. You want that thrill, that adrenaline rush.
Yep.
But anyway, go ahead. What was you going to say? You were going to say something.
I could replace that Dark Skies if I had to go 80s or whatever, and I would replace it with They Live, I think, because They Live was a realistic kind of creepy feel, to another creepy movie.
They Live had some really creepy spots in it, too.
Yeah.
It really did have some horror movie spots where you were just like, and it really made you think, because you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this some real ass shit? But I would say that's more like along the lines of suspense with that Shutter Island and whatnot. But yeah, for sure. All right.
All right, man. So you're white, right?
I guess.
Like, I mean, I see you. You look white.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's okay and safe to say that you're white.
I mean, that's very, very racist to assume that I've peaked already in my racialness.
Like the cultures of cultures. Like, I would just, like, if I saw you, I would say you're either like Native American.
Yeah.
Or you're like, maybe like 2/64 Native American.
Right.
But like the rest, you're white. Like, you look white.
Yeah.
I don't mean no offense, but like you look white.
And the thing about that is there's a whole cornucopia of Caucasianness out there.
Right.
And I have all of it.
We don't mean to offend anybody here. We're doing this for humor, by the way.
I am white. I am very white.
And I happen to be Mexican.
And I have a tiny bit of Native American in me.
You got a little Sheena Easton?
And yes.
No, but
and so if I were to look at you,
right,
I honestly, you being brown, I can't tell if you're Italian,
okay,
Middle Eastern,
I get Middle Eastern a lot,
or Mexican. Now this is going to sound racist, but when you look at some Mexicans, you can say he's Mexican.
Right.
But then you look at other Mexicans and you're like, well, is he Asian? Is he Middle Eastern?
Filipino?
Exactly, because brown is very difficult to distinguish.
Right. I get Middle Eastern all the time. Like, believe it or not, I mean, you probably can believe it.
Yeah.
You can believe it. Oh. But, so people are, I've gone into a party store, right? It's a gas station party store. And the guy, I go there once in a while. And now, we know it now. But, damn.
What happened?
Hello? Okay,
Hello?
that's better. I don't know. I lost my volume or something.
Uh-oh.
So anyways, let me lower that a little bit right there.
I think we're doing all right.
So I go into the store.
Yeah.
And the guy is like, he always comes, and when I first started going to the store, he started talking to me in whatever his language was.
Okay. Oh, so he immediately thought you could speak whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he's talking to me, and I looked at him, and I go, hey, I'm Mexican, I don't know what you're saying,
Right,
goes,
right.
So he said, Edo and Mexican, the same thing. And I was like,
that's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I would
because
disagree.
I didn't even know a close range. I wasn't even close on what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But it was funny, man. I had a blast with him. Now we know each other. We're cool. But at first, he just started talking to me because I looked like his people.
If you would meet my buddy Louis, he's Middle Eastern. He's Lebanese. But he's a big motherfucker, right? He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a big fucker. And if you were to meet him, you would think, oh, he's going to speak to me in Arabic, and then he'll start talking to you in French.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that's what they speak in Lebanon. They speak French.
Nice.
But anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it, being I'm Mexican, you're white.
Yeah.
Even if I was like different
that sounds
nationality.
so lame being white. Like, you're white. I'm Mexican. Like, you have somewhere.
I didn't mean to put that much emphasis, like make it like, you're white.
I'm Mexican.
I didn't mean to do it like that.
You're white.
Yeah.
You're the useless crayon in the box.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it to come off like that. I mean, like, well, I'm having to be Hispanic, and you're not. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are not.
Anyway,
okay?
Go ahead with what you were going to say there.
So I'm just saying, I think I have advantages that you don't have when it comes to making choices of where people would judge me as being racist.
Oh, I think very much so. Listen.
So I can give you an example.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Give me an example.
Let's say you're out walking your dog.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's nighttime, and you guys are in a different area. Like you said, you went on your little vacation moon.
Yeah.
Sequel or whatever.
Right.
and you guys were out there and you guys went for the dog, or you're by yourself and you took the
Okay.
dog for a walk, or
Sure.
you're with your wife, either way, because you're both white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
She's
you're
way whiter than I am, if you can believe that. But
Okay.
anyway, go ahead.
She's albino, you're white. Okay. Is that what you mean?
No.
Or did I go too far? I apologize. I'm just
Wow,
kidding.
You're so racist.
So,
Anyway,
okay.
say your point.
You guys are walking your dog and you're white. It's
Yeah.
nighttime. And you're not in the best neighborhood.
And we're so white you can see us glowing even
Yes.
without flashlights. Continue.
Yes, you reflect. You guys are like ultraviolet, reflective.
Yes.
Okay, solar panels.
Yep.
something.
Basically.
So you're walking the dogs, and then you see a group of like white people or whatever on the one side of the street that you're on,
Yeah.
and you guys decide, oh, no big deal. You just guys walk over to the other side. You don't want your dogs to go barking like crazy.
Sure.
So it's just a normal move.
Right.
Normal move, whether you're white or not.
Oh yeah. If you're walking your dog, you want to avoid people sometimes.
Not all
'cause
dogs are people friendly. They just want to bark.
Yeah, exactly.
They may not bite them, but they'll bark.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got you. I see where you're going with this.
So it goes this side.
Yeah.
Now you're walking down the street, and then there's a whole group, and now you're around. You see the next same size group of people. Don't seem much of a threat, but they're all black.
Yeah.
So now you have a big choice to make because you're white.
Right.
If you cross that street, you're racist.
Right. Right.
If you don't cross the street, and they end up to be troublemakers and beat your ass, you're not a racist.
It's either
Or do they beat your ass because you're still racist?
No, either way. So this is how this. So I if I cross the street, then I'm a racist.
Yeah.
Even though it's just that I don't want my dogs to bark at them because my dogs are that way. They'll be like, my one dog, he'll get all excited, but my other dog, she'll just start growling, barking because she's crazy. But if I go in the group and then the dogs start barking at them, well, guess what? I'm also racist because I've trained my dogs to not like black people.
Right.
So yeah, no. I get it.
Now, if I cross the street and my dog barks, oh, that's a good watchdog.
Yeah.
But when you
man.
do it,
Yeah, I'm a racist.
you're a racist.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And
I just think that's a crazy position to be in.
it definitely sucks. It's definitely kind of annoying because you could easily get pegged real quick and get your ass beat. So I constantly have to walk on eggshells around people who are not white. Now, there are exceptions. People from India, they're pretty laxed.
Uh-huh.
Most of your Latino people can be pretty laxed. But black people definitely are, especially with the times we live in, they're really racially charged against white people.
Okay.
And I definitely have to be careful.
So, yeah, that would be a tough choice to make.
It is a tough choice. So what I would do in that situation, I would definitely, if there was a side street, I would probably cut left.
That it's not an option in that situation.
And I would go around the block and go
Nice.
around them. You know, maybe that was my intended
So they
path.
think you live there.
Yeah, that was my intended avenue. But yeah, if that's not an option, then I guess I'm going to have to go through the path, and I'm going to pray that the cuteness of my two dogs
Right.
is going to fill their hearts with love and joy, and they're going to forget about the fact that I'm a Caucasian.
Nice. Hopefully you blend in.
Yeah, I'm going to blend in.
That's a good choice.
It is a good choice.
I guess
So,
that's a good choice. If you had to make a choice, that sounds like a decent one.
yeah, I'm gonna just be hoping. I'll be looking at my one dog, be like, motherfucker, you better turn the cuteness up to 11.
You better be nice.
You better turn that cuteness level way up. And I look at the little one. It's like, if you growl one time, I'm killing your ass.
We want you to be a friendly pet right now.
I'm just kidding. I would never do that to my animals, but I love my animals. But I would be praying that my animals were on their best behavior and were emitting those cuteness energies out of them because they are uber cute.
Yeah. So I just wanted to have fun with that little thing. I hope I didn't offend anybody. It was just for jokes. So
But it's tricky.
yeah,
It's tricky.
it can be.
It's tricky.
That's one of those tread lightly situations.
We're living in a world where being white, like we're evil. The white man's evil.
It seems like it.
Yeah, it's definitely, and especially I'm white and I'm a male. So that's like double evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could be mansplaining on top of white splaining. I think if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
You know, like you're already fucked up when you have to over-explain stuff.
Yeah. It's fucked up. But hey, whatever. It is what it is.
Yep.
We all live in this world. We got to do as best we can, deal with what we got. But that is a pretty funny scenario. You got another one?
No, that's all I had. I
That's
thought
all
that
you
was
had?
great.
Yeah, that is good.
I thought that was great. I think that's all I think we peaked on that one because I think that was just a great one. But I wanted to bring up some things. Like I know you're like not the like you're like early like sports. You're like a minimal sports watcher, but you do catch on some sports.
Yeah, I watch it. I understand it. I just don't have that what is the word? I'm not addicted to it. Well, not addicted is not the word.
You just don't watch it as much. It's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
big deal.
yeah. What anyway, go ahead.
Right. So, anyways, I have a fear for some sports, like for sports in general, and I feel like some sports are more in trouble right now than others, because
Such as
well, I feel like baseball and hockey are in trouble, and because
hockey, I would figure it would be NBA, not hockey.
well, I'll explain.
Okay.
I've been looking recently and reading some articles and seeing some interesting things about like TV ratings and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I guess like the last few Super Bowls that have been going on, there's been like video game online tournaments going on at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
that
yeah.
they would have more ratings than the Super Bowls and stuff like that. And I, being an older person, thinking it was like Super Bowl was king and all that, but I guess it used to be. But now this online gaming thing is taking over. And the reason I say it's hurting because football still has super high ratings.
Yeah.
But like baseball and hockey weren't even on the charts of this thing.
Really?
So my concern is I think those two will be the first sports to go, if any, because this online gaming is like really popular. Kids are, I think the professional athlete will be a thing of the past, and then I think NBA would be next.
Yeah, this definitely the online gaming and these tournaments that they have are getting really big, and they make more money than NFL.
Yeah, they are, and it's
And
crazy.
They make big money,
And
but here's the thing, I don't agree with you as to that they're going to go away. I feel like that if anything, they may go off television and go underground, but I don't think they'll completely disappear because I see this newer generation, these people in their 20s are very into fitness and eating healthy and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I think there will be a resurgence. So these people who are doing these online gamings are guys that are our age, in their mid 30s to mid 40s. They're in that era, okay? And I see this next generation in the next 10 to 20 years, there will be a resurgence of sports. I think, and the medium will be different. There won't be on Fox News or the regular television channels. We'll be watching it on our phones or whatever else, whatever device is out at the time. But if these athletes continue to go in the way they're going with trying to bring politics into sports, that's definitely turning off the viewing audience. I think that has a huge factor. People don't give a fuck about what your political views are when you're out there being athletic. If you're throwing javelins, throw the damn javelin. I don't care who you're voting for. If you're shooting hoops, if you're hitting balls with if you're running bases, nobody gives a shit about what your political views are. We just want to see you perform as an athlete.
Well, I kind of disagree because I think we're heading towards that Ready Player One type shit for real.
Okay.
And yeah, kids are getting in shape and doing that kind of stuff, but they're doing it because these new platforms are going to be on. They know they have to. They're like the new astronaut. Like these gamers have to do these things to stay in shape because they'll lose muscle mass just sitting in front of the screen. So a lot of these guys are getting in good shape, but I just think the ratings are showing. Right now, the NBA finals are on, and nobody gives a shit because they over politicize the game. And when you're on a video screen, what are you going to fucking put in front of my digital screen? Except for who's the winner is, and you're going to see my face.
Well, okay, so maybe then in the future it'll be a conglomerate. I should say the athlete, the idea of the athlete. Your athletes out there in this world are your guys who are more than your average person, right?
Yeah, but like it comes.
So they're still going to exist because they're going to need to be just as athletic to operate this equipment, to operate inside this 3D environment.
Well, look what they're talking about right now. They're trying to de-weaponize people first. All right, they're trying to take your guns first.
Yeah.
Then they're trying to get you the violence to stop. So the fighting games, the fight sports, football, like these contact sports are going to go away. And you got films like Real Steel, where they're starting to replace these things with robots, machines. And they're going to have these sports, but they're not going to be the traditional way. And I think that the professional athlete is going to transform in like the most weirdest way ever, because I think with this technology, it's going to change it all.
Well, do you remember a 1980s movie called RoboJocks?
Yes.
Okay. So similar, but they just did it in giant robot suits. And these guys were athletes. You had people in the stands, two robots, they duked it out, and it was literally just like an NFL or an NBA,
Yep.
or it was a huge event. And so maybe they'll have something like that. But I don't think the idea, like these guys who are doing the online gaming, and they're not athletes.
Well,
I think the idea of the athlete isn't going to disappear like you think it is.
now here's the thing coming. I thought you would have this angle come being a gamer. I'm new, I play games. I'm a novice, like regular player. I'm not
Yeah.
like an expert player or anything by no means. But when I do play, I see things that I'm an older person that I see when I'm watching a professional sport. When I see an athlete do something that I can't do. You see a guy do a 360 alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? Holy fuck. And then I see this dude in the game do some shit like, were you a fucking robot or a fucking computer? How in the hell? You know what I'm saying? So it's like got the same thing for me. I'm just saying it's my own opinion. Like I see somebody do something I can't do, and that's still entertaining. And I think that's what the masses are doing and why they're getting so many ratings and stuff like that. And I think it's going to head in that direction a lot because the physical violence are what they're trying to get us away from. They're limiting the way people can tackle in football. Football is going to be like flag football before anything, and that's going to kill football. And basketball is over politicizing the game, and basketball is dying because you're only allowed to have 6 good teams, and LeBron can go on the good team only, and then every good player has to play with LeBron until he retires at 45. He'll probably be like the oldest player to win a title because he'll play longer, and all the best players will play with him to help him, and they'll do all this stupid shit, and that's going to ruin the game. But I think they're already ruining basketball, and football's changing so much, it ain't going to be the same. I just feel like sports are we're going to go into that Ready Player One, but I'm not ready to. But I think it's coming sooner than later.
Well, I mean, I agree with some parts of what you said, but what I don't agree with is when you're talking about, yes, you see some of these guys in these online gamings, and they'll do these incredible things,
Uh-huh.
and they look incredible because you think you can't do it. But you could. You can learn how, okay? But no matter how hard I try, I could never be as good as Floyd Mayweather. I could never, doesn't matter how hard I trained,
Right.
I could never be as good of a boxer as him.
Right.
I would never be able to beat him in a fight. Now, it's not the same with a video game.
Okay.
You could practice enough to get to a point to be good enough. You would just have to dedicate more of your time. That's the difference between video games and athleticism. I have limitations to my body.
But the reason I'm not saying that part will never go away from the admiration of somebody's skill and technique.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I'm trying to say, it's going to be a thing of the past because they're already changing them now. They're already changing games that it's hurting them now.
What do you mean?
Like I said, in football, like they're changing the way you can tackle, and
Yeah.
they're changing all these things, and like they're almost eliminating the kickoff of the game because they're afraid of the collisions that everybody have, like these barbaric collisions like they're having right off the kickoff. And then the game's getting like less physical and less physical to where you can't touch a guy, and it's almost going to be like WWF. That's what happened to the XFL. The Rock just bought the XFL. He's saying they're going to start in the spring. It's fucking not real football to people.
What is it, like flag football or something?
It's football, but it never survived before because it was like they were acting and shit. They were doing like wrestling moves on a football field or some shit. It wasn't like real NFL, so it didn't survive. And just because the Rock's doing it, it ain't going to do any better because it's not the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So,
well,
I just think that's happening right now to sports. They're already changing them. They're talking about making baseball shorter. That's not going to stay baseball. Baseball is just lame and slow, you know. And I just think it's happening. Like sports like soccer will probably be one of the last great sports. I'm talking football, like the European worldwide soccer, football, everything. I think that'll be one of the last sports to go because of the worldwide.
How much notoriety it has.
Because if football goes away, Spain don't give a shit.
So when you say goes away, are you just talking about from being viewed on television? Is that what
I'm talking about not existing anymore other than sports and video games?
Okay.
Like those kind of sports.
So you think at some point in our history, in the future, I should say, that we will no longer compete?
Yes. Not that way.
Not in that way. Not in a physical manner.
Yeah. I mean, we'd probably get in street fights. That kind of shit will still happen.
Yeah.
Brawls. But as far as competitive boxing and all that stuff will change because everybody talks about the brain damage and all these things, and fighters are fighting less and less now. I used to see fighters fight like Tyson fought 4 times a year.
Right.
Pacquiao did it. Mayweather did it. Now they fight. These guys now want the same big paychecks, and they're fighting like fucking 1 time a year.
Well, I mean, it's all. Now we're gonna go down a conspiracy avenue. They're trying to to basically what's the term? They're trying to make us all docile.
Yeah, they're gonna phase it out. Like I always bring up Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Because that's what it turns out to be.
But
And the people that don't like the Demolition Man get in them Project and District 9 type places like Ready Player One. Like
yeah.
y'all will be in that spot, and the people who cooperate are in the nice places. And I think that's what they're heading for.
I think though that it doesn't matter how docile you make us as creatures. People want blood. Okay?
Yep.
And I think there will always be that desire for violence.
Well, like I said, they're already, brainwashing us with TV stuff and our foods and all this crazy shit. Who knows? I just think it's happening now with sports. I think they're trying to phase out these sports.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see what you see, or I see what you're talking about, and I do see the trend, and I see the direction we're moving in. But I have a hard time believing that it'll go away 100%. I'm sure there maybe some new sports will emerge.
Yeah.
That we just
Like,
don't expect.
A new sport will emerge, kind of like it'll be digital, and it'll be like that Star Wars chess where they have them fucking little 3D monster
Yeah.
holograms
Oh yeah,
moving
yeah.
all your shit and fighting.
Yeah.
And when we fight wars, it'll be different war fighting techniques as well.
A little off topic. Have you ever seen those drone racing?
Yes, and that is phenomenal.
Now that's some athleticism because those things go fast, and that's that visual. Like you have to be able to fly something.
You're the eyes of that drone, like
Yeah.
those glasses or the
and
cameras.
them guys
man.
them things go fast.
A lot of those guys are ex-military. A lot of those competitors.
Are they really?
Yeah, if you look up some of their backgrounds.
Well, like ex-fighter pilots or something.
They use those on military. For military, it makes
Yeah.
you wonder what they did with those bad boys.
Oh, you can only imagine.
A lot of competitors I've
and-
seen, some of them episodes were ex-military.
And that's another thing right there. You just brought up a reason. Okay, so when the day comes where we don't have human beings as soldiers,
Yeah,
that's when sports will go away.
it's already there. They're just waiting to hit that button.
I know, but the day comes when it's like Terminator and we have robots. We send in robots to take over whatever we want to take over, and we don't have human beings
Yeah.
anymore. We don't have boots on the ground because those guys, they have that testosterone in them. They have that athleticism, and they have that lust for combat, and those are the guys who will keep sports alive, I think. And when that goes away, then I agree with you. I think that'll be the nail in the coffin for sports, for physical sports, and it'll all go digital.
Yeah, but I think I just have a feeling they're already trying to attack them in that form.
You could be right. You could be right. I do see it. I see the trend. They're just trying to. They want to make us. Here we go, getting conspiratorial. The globalists, if you believe in that, they want us to be docile so that they can control us. They want the women in charge. They want the men to become lethargic and docile so that they're easy to control. And
Zombies.
Yep, they want to zombify us, and there you go. And then we'll be just like sheep. They can do whatever they want. But that's if you believe all that stuff.
All right, man. Well, if you guys enjoyed that episode,
And I know you did.
hit us with a like and subscription, share it with some friends, share it with some family,
Click
and
that-
remind them that we swear a lot.
Oh, yeah. Tell them we swear and say some weird stuff, and click that notification bell so you know when we make a new episode.
That's right, because we drop an episode every Wednesday and every Saturday.
Twice a week.
So this.
And didn't you say you were going to do a little something possibly?
Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Coming up next Friday, and I'm going to do every Friday till Halloween. They're going to be drunken horror Halloween stories. They're going to be short stories coming to you Friday
So,
nights.
Stay tuned for that one, folks.
They're going to be these little short stories of me telling you these little crazy stories I found, or I'm going to make them up. Who knows? And they'll be on Friday nights all the way till Halloween.
Yeah.
You don't want to catch those. And this has been another episode of
Meant.
Two.
Vent.
Till next time, humans.
Later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.